We've been working on Morphs with Vinny, and I added a few more to the face that we'll look at when we get into the regular animation portion. What I want to do now is create some that we can use with predictability to create the cyclical animation of Lenny playing with money. So we're going to have a grasping function and a release function that are best served as morph targets, so you can go ahead and repeat those. I'm at the top level of Vinny here, the bone layer, so that I can have access to that particular morph all through the entire levels here. And regardless of what level I'm on, I'll be able to access that. Let's go ahead and zoom into the hand just a little bit, and we'll create two morphs here, grasp and release. So let's create one here, and I'll say left hand grasp. And remember, these are things that will travel with the character when he gets imported into a different file. So it's worth it to spend time, and especially if you're building a character you're going to do a lot of animating with, getting every morph you'll ever want packed into a single file so you can import it and just have an easy job of working with it. Okay, our hand's in kind of a neutral position here, this left hand. So for the grasp, the way to do that, of course, is to bring fingers in and thumb in. So let's do that right now. I will come down, I'll close up the head right here. And let's look for hand left. We only have one layer inside the switch layer. We could add another, but let's begin moving points around. I'll grab the translation tool right here. And since these are, well, this is all one big one, so I can't get it to completely overlap like I can with others because I get that little issue of holes that poke through right there. So let me go ahead and tighten this up just a little bit. We'll make it look like the fingers are flexing somewhat, but we won't create any holes in the actual geometry. Pull that out a little bit. Now for this one, we can actually pull this down just a little bit more and keep it believable. This doesn't have to be a real big action, and we'll just engage it where we need to. Might even want to pull this in a little bit further, like the pinky's coming in just a bit more. And then when we release it, we can have it go the opposite direction. Come back to the main line. There's the hand in the neutral position. When we come back up to the top level, we'll create a new action, and this one we'll call left release, and choose OK. All right, but let's change this up just a little bit. So I will come back down to the hand level we were just working on, grab the translate point tool, and let's move the thumb out a little bit here. Pull this out, make it look like it's flexing. With this layer right here specifically, I might as well rotate this a little bit and pull it up so we get this full kind of release action going on. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one as well. And pull it out. And then finally for the index finger here, need to actually grab separate points. And I'll make this look like it's flexing just a little bit more. And we'll skinny that up and maybe open this just a little bit. So now we'll go back to the main timeline. Let's see how this works now. I'll step forward one frame, and we'll call up our Blend Morphs window. We can see we've got the left grasp in place. Now I have this layer selected, so these are the only morphs that are showing up. If I come back to the top level here, we'll see an entire list of the morphs we've been creating. And I did recreate that one look left questioningly at the top level instead of just at the eye level. So let's see now how it says relative to current. We can go with absolute. And this has a different range of controls. And now that we're actually into the morphs, let's talk about this just a little bit. The relative to current allows you to compound animation that you've already created to the character. I like working with this sometimes, but it's also easy to severely distort your geometry and not get it back real easily. Absolute is really nice because what happens is that from any position, you can go ahead and reinforce a default percentage to bring everything back to normal. So let's go ahead and look at the grasp here. We've got 0 to 100%. So as I go to grasp, there it is. His hand closes up. And when I go to release, his hand opens even further. Now this will be really easy for us to predictably, really important, especially for a cyclical animation, bring in this range of motion so we can go ahead and repeat it and make it happen over and over. So now we've created some basic morph targets to work with our animation. Obviously you could create a ton more, but I think you get the idea.